State transportation officials dropped a bombshell today about last week's massive molasses spill. Good evening, I'm Yunji Denise in for Paula Akana tonight. It turns out that Matson was notified about that pipe leaking molasses last July. KITV4's Catherine Cruz joins us now with our top story. Catherine.
Well, exactly a week ago, KITV began asking about a letter that the state sent Matson warning them of the need to inspect their molasses pipe system. Today, officials finally admitted that letter exists. Crews continue to monitor the area where the last of the molasses has been pooling. The area near the reef runway appears mostly clear, but new information has muddied the investigation. It appears officials knew about a problem with the leaky pipe, even though all last week and up to a few days ago they were denying any knowledge of it.
It basically identified a deficiency in our system, and moving forward we're working to tighten that up.
The DOT only just today produced a letter which specifically says that molasses was seen leaking from a pipeline under Pier 51B. KITV began asking about whether the DOT had sent a letter to Matson suggesting it might have a problem prior to last week's massive spill in the harbor. But up through Tuesday, the DOT director and deputy maintained they had no knowledge of it when we asked again.
The reason at that time I wasn't sure if that was attorney-client privilege information. Since then we've understood that it is not, and that's why we're revealing it today.
We also asked Matson this past Sunday. Matson's VP said he had no personal knowledge of the letter until this week.
I wasn't aware of the pipeline itself. I wasn't aware of the letter. It then came up this week.
As for Matson's response?
We sent a crew out there to do the inspection on 2 different occasions, high tide, low tide, to do a physical inspection of the pipe itself, to observe if there was any molasses leaking, as well as whether there was anything in the water. On both occasions, we did not observe any molasses dripping from the pipe, nor any molasses in the surrounding area. You can bet that we're going to develop a response plan for molasses should we continue to move molasses.
State Environmental Director Gary Gill says after consulting with the EPA and his state counterparts, he expects this spill will change future practices.
With the worldwide press that's come from this event, certainly we can anticipate a nationwide review of this kind of food handling infrastructure and whether any kind of state or federal regulation on top of what we currently have is required.
Now, state officials say that today, while some 26,000 fish have died as a result of the spill, they only collected 1 dead fish this morning and that there were none yesterday. They also say that oxygen levels have pretty much returned to normal levels throughout the harbor, so they will begin removing the warning signs, and they plan to reopen Kehi Lagoon for recreational use tomorrow morning. Back to you.
Stunning development. Thank you so much for that, Kath.